protests or no protests, the inescapable fact is Gaza faces a humanitarian disaster of epic proportions. The UN concluded Gaza will simply be unsafe for general human life within 24 months, and that it's impacting Israel's safety too. The group EcoPeace Middle East notes Gazans dump about 100 million liters of raw sewage into the Mediterranean Sea every day. There is no other option. Most of that sewage now flows north to Israeli beach towns. That's ruining Israel's beaches, also impacting at least one major desalination plant in the big southern city of Ashkelon. Joining me in studio as well to join this discussion is Gidon Bromberg, the Israeli director of EcoPeace Middle East, which works with Israeli-Palestinian environmental groups to try and foster peace through environmental cooperation. Some say it's an outright miracle, that really there has not been a cholera or a typhoid outbreak that would not have only killed scores of Gazans, but really Israelis as well. I mean, why hasn't there been a real health disaster? Is it really a miracle at this point?
Well, we really are facing a ticking time bomb. Cholera could break out, or typhoid, or any other pandemic disease could break out tomorrow in Gaza because people are drinking unhealthy water. 97% of the natural groundwater of Gaza is no longer drinkable. Salinity levels, salt levels make it as high as drinking seawater. And because there's no treatment of sewage, the water itself is contaminated.
Well, what happens when there is no water? That's going to happen in less than 2 years, perhaps, right?
Well, it's today. I mean, today Gazans are dependent on small desalination plants that are sold by vendors that are not really monitored properly. And therefore, we don't really know, or the public doesn't really know what they're drinking. And therefore, the likelihood of disease breaking out is truly high. And the fear, of course, is that not only would that disease break out in Gaza, but it will also spread across the border. And more than that, should pandemic disease break out in Gaza, then 2 million residents of Gaza will not stand still. They will be desperate, and they will move towards the fences of Israel and Egypt because no one will want to stay in Gaza. So this is a national security issue, a national security threat, not only for the Palestinians in Gaza, but for Israel, for Egypt, and for the broader Middle East.
Alon, you work with COGAT. I mean, how do you help the people who need water? How do you get the aid to them directly without Hamas using money and infrastructure for terror purposes?
There is a water supply from Israel, part of the quantity, from Israel to Gaza Strip, but this is a short need. We have to think about this call, this alarm call, because we are going to hear about this problem for a long time. I think that there are a lot of ideas inside COGAT and outside how to improve or how to fix the solution or the problem for the water problem, but I don't see any improvement in the next future. I mean, huge improvement about that, because no partners for that deal, for create a new, let's say, sources of water inside Gaza Strip, instead of pushing a lot of quantities of water from Israel to Gaza Strip. I don't think that Israel will be the only solution for this problem. We have to think about another ideas. The problem is that Israel don't have anyone to cooperate with to find a solution.
Can COGAT, can humanitarian groups build desalination plants in Gaza literally to save lives and give kids water? Can you go in and get that done?
No, so this has to be done with the authority. It needs to be done with the Palestinian Authority out of Ramallah. There's an urgent need.
That's the problem, isn't it?
That is a serious problem, is that the Palestinian Authority is not in control. And without that control, there's a tremendous reluctance to move forward on the building of the urgently needed desalination plant for Gaza. So in the immediate term, there's a need to get more water in from Israel. What the message is here is that, we can politically try to disengage, but we can't disengage from a shared environment. We can't disengage from the fact that next door, people are drinking unhealthy water.
And it doesn't.
It's an international challenge and not Israeli one. Not just the PA. It's Egypt, connect to Egypt, to Turkey, to the Middle East as well, and maybe to the UN. I think that the problem is already known.
All right, both of you gentlemen, thank you so much for being here in the studio. Appreciate this is a story we'll stay on top of here on Daily Dose.